Helen Yee here with Eyes on the Game here at JacksonWink MMA in Albuquerque, being joined by killer Cub Swanson. Now, you just got done practicing. You have a big fight coming up against the undefeated Brian Ortega in Fresno. How's your camp going?
It's been great. I've had a long camp. I've been training for about 2 months, a little longer than that. And so the last month, I'm just kind of having fun with it and just pushing it a little bit, but just kind of enjoying.
Now, looking at Brian, I mean, he is undefeated, and he's quite a submission artist. What do you think of kind of his style?
Well, if you watch a lot of his last fights, he does try to box. He's pretty proud of his boxing, I believe. And so I think he'll try to mix it up with me. I think he's going to try to stand and bang, and if that doesn't work well, he'll definitely try to take me to the ground. So I'm be ready for both. I've been grappling a lot early in the camp, and I'm finishing off with a lot of boxing, so I feel very well-rounded for this fight.
Now, is there anyone in particular you kind of brought in because of Brian's jiu-jitsu? But I know you're great at it too.
Yeah, really all I did was kind of start camp earlier, and I did that. I helped TJ Dillashaw train for his camp. And he put together a whole group of guys, and I was able to be a part of that and kind of start my camp before they even gave me the fight. So I was doing a lot of jiu-jitsu and conditioning and wrestling with these guys, a lot of high-level guys from Southern California. Usually at that time, I'd just be at home doing my thing, bringing people in, but I went and got like really good training, and now I'm finishing my camp out here in Albuquerque.
And you are on a 4-fight win streak. There's been a lot of noise this past week, kind of, with the Frankie Edgar fallout and then Max Holloway, who would fight him next. I know you fought him before, and, a win over Ortega can potentially garner that rematch if he defeats Aldo. For that rematch, how do you see it going?
The Aldo-Holloway rematch, I'd have to give it to Holloway. He looked so good later in the fight. I thought he had a rough start, but so I'd have to go with him. But at the same time, I've been picking a lot of featherweight championship fights wrong, so don't take my word for it.
Yeah, and I know that you wanted that rematch with him. So if you guys did fight again, how do you think this fight would have gone differently?
Well, I really feel like I've had the best camp of my life. I'm ahead of schedule. My weight is ahead of schedule. So pushing the fight 1 week sooner couldn't have been any better for me. I was already training for a 5-rounder. So I just thought with the timing of things, it was just perfect. So unfortunately, they gave it to Aldo. I understand. I still got a great opponent in Brian Ortega, and I get to fight in my home state of California in Fresno, and I'm going to have a bunch of people there. I'm excited.
And did the UFC reach out to you at all, though, in regards to when they were looking for that replacement?
Yeah, I spoke to Dana a couple times, and he told me that I was in the mix, and they really had a lot to think about and things to work out. And then I just got a short text that it was going to be Aldo, and after that, and so I was like, it stung a little bit, but at the same time, I'm only a few weeks out from my fight that I already had, so back to business as usual.
And a few weeks out, but you are a new father now to a daughter named Royal. Congratulations. How has that changed you, mentally and motivation-wise? Man,
it's been huge. I feel like I've had, obviously a lot more responsibility, but my work ethic has gotten better, and just usually when I would get home from training, I would want to do nothing, lay down and just try to maximize my recovery, and now I just want to pick her up and hang out with her and then get back to training. So I just feel like I have more energy now. It's pretty crazy. I'm not the youngest fighter, but I feel like a new spark has been lit.
But your fights are always very entertaining, and like I mentioned, 4-fight win streak. And Conor been in the media lately for what he did to Bellator. What do you think of that situation?
I mean, I think it's disgraceful. We all play by the rules, and we got to let the officials do their thing, and they do it for a reason. Even if we disagree, I disagree with the commission on many things, but at the end of the day, they're the commission. They can suspend me, and I play by the rules. We're trying to make this sport safe, and we don't need people like that acting out, and if they do, they get punished. And I feel like this one in particular, he won't get punished like anybody else would, and I think that's sad. But, it is what it is.
And they're kind of saying that he was supposed to now be on the December 30th card, and they're taking him out as punishment. What do you think of that?
I had heard that he was going to be on the next one, the was it the March card or something like that. And so I thought that was a quick out. I thought that they're letting him slide. The last person who did it got kicked off the roster and got a year's suspension. So I don't see him getting kicked off the roster, but a year's suspension seems, fitting.
Yeah. And then also you mentioned you spoke to Dana briefly. I know it was about the Holloway fight, but have you guys talked about this fight being the last one on your contract?
Yeah, he just said that he didn't know why we couldn't come to terms before because I was dealing with the matchmakers and not him directly. He was like, I'd love to sit down after this fight no matter what happens, and we really want you on the team. And, I appreciated that, and so, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But do you have a good feeling about re-signing with UFC as opposed to going to another organization?
I mean, I really want to be with the UFC, but at the same time, they said that they think they can make me happy with it. The only way to make me happy is to put it in writing that I'm going to get a title fight and that I'm going to be, compensated well. And I got a family to raise. I'm not going to be doing this forever, so I'm really concentrating on my future. And right now, I want to have the best performances, and that way, when I'm having the best fights in my career, I can walk away and say I'm taken care of, not keep fighting past my prime. I don't want to do that.
And you think a lot of that big conversation will be after your Ortega fight?
Yeah, it has to be now. So I mean, we had a chance to do it before with the title fight. But now that they went with Aldo, there's no sense of me doing it before now. So after the Ortega fight, we'll sit down, we'll talk.
And also, I happen to notice UFC Gym. I follow you on Instagram, and I know you just opened a gym, right?
Yeah, we opened at the beginning of the year, and we have an amazing facility. And it's actually me and Michael Bisping have a UFC gym in Costa Mesa. It's huge gym. If you guys are in Costa Mesa, come check it out. You'll love it.
And is there a website, or they can just follow you on Instagram to get more details and the address?
Yeah, or you can go check it out on UFC Gym Costa Mesa on Instagram. They're always posting photos. It's a lovely group. Tons of people there all the time. Like I said, come check it out.